For a lot of people, the deco is what makes a Hot Wheels car appealing. Some prefer clean, factory-style decos, while the others indulge in racing liveries. As for me, I usually prefer something that's more visual leaning or outlandish than something more corporate, leaning towards custom cars or street culture. During the 2000s, there were tons of releases with amazing decos, especially in the mainline. Many cars just give off that special vibe that you just cannot get today. Other than shinier and thicker paint, the graphics that come with the car often feel super unique and original. Especially when compared to putting the car's year number as the racing number on the side. Now before you say, actually, graphics like these are so out of style. Remember who's out there glazing Fast and Furious still today? Something about double standards, am I right? Funny thing is, Fast and Furious is one of the recurring themes they push out more that I favor, despite it getting kinda tiring. Cause I'm able to collect some of the cars I like from the movies. Well, unless the Hot Wheels version looks nothing like the car from the movie, which I find quite infuriating. But aside from that, this Lancer evolution here is something that I had to get because it's a big part of my personal big 4 hero cars of the franchise. Before we move on, let's free this thing from its packaging. Well, I've been saving this for since last year, and this is something that I absolutely needed for my collection. Well, here goes nothing. Off the card. Oh, here we go. Finally free. Yes, rip off that cardboard. Yeah. I regret nothing. I think that the reason that I like this Evo 9 is because it's one of the few iconic red cars in the franchise, especially on the Japanese tuner side. It's also one of the least lazy looking Fast and Furious cars done in Hot Wheels based on what I see, cause seriously, a lot of them don't even try. Mattel, you cannot gaslight me. This car and the casting itself was based on the one from Tokyo Drift, driven by Sean Boswell, which was the protagonist. I don't think I want to talk too much about Fast and Furious because I feel it would stray away from the main point of the video. So about the premium line as a whole, I like to think that the P in Hot Wheels Premium stands for potential. This is because, aside from mostly looking like glorified mainlines, I feel like there isn't really much in terms of the variety. I believe that there are others out there who are also dissatisfied with the modern premium themes, cause to me most premium releases feel like nothing but corporate product placement. As somewhat of a Hot Wheels fanboy myself, I find the Hot Wheels premium line extremely underwhelming if you expect to see variety. If you're not interested in motorsports, Instagram builds, or movies you never watched, then the premium line might just make you fall asleep. Especially if you're tired of seeing new Fast and Furious sets all the time. Of course, the aftermarket prices for some models aren't helping either. What I want to say is, I think that 2000 style custom cars like these don't have to be restricted to Fast and Furious. I think it would be awesome if we can take what people like about Fast and Furious and try to apply it onto other teams. I think that a lot of people would enjoy some background tuner cars for their Fast and Furious diorama or something else, so I feel like there could be a potential audience for that. Seriously, is it so hard to look into thousands of other car media? I assume that this may be an unpopular opinion, but I'd love to see more creative and unique premium lines being introduced or brought back to the brand. Now I want to bring up the Silver series, but before that, this Nissan Fairlady Z Twin Turbo is from the 90s Street Scene set from 2025. It has this nice shade of green with black as the secondary color. And this Honda, I mean Acura Integra from Fast and Furious. Oh, and I also have this wild looking Honda Civic Type R from the 2026 Compact King set, which was wheel swapped. Cool deco in it. In terms of price, the Silver series is officially graded below premiums but above the mainline, allowing for better detailing and more graphics along with experimenting outside boring and repetitive themes in the premium line. Unless it's Fast and Furious. I think that the Silver series is neat because they're cheaper than premiums and you get to see unique stuff that you don't see in the premium, such as unlicensed castings. Cause putting those in the premium would make certain individuals throw a tantrum. The only downside is the absolutely atrocious distribution, especially if you live in certain countries. There really should be more releases like these, especially if they could make more interesting liveries that spark a sense of creativity or originality, since that's what makes the brand appealing. It could be something wild or something simple but stylish. I wouldn't mind if they use non-Japanese cars or even unlicensed castings if they can make them look absolutely amazing. Speaking of unlicensed, let's move to the mainline, which is considered to be the root of the Hot Wheels brand. This 24/7 here is something that I absolutely have to talk about. This is something that we desperately needed in the mainline for a long time. The bright red, the flashy livery, and who could forget the iconic PR5 wheels? This is absolutely peak. This is what fantasy cars should look like. This is visible proof that fantasy cars are not directly terrible, just poor art direction that should be improved. Make Hot Wheels hot again. Speaking of Hot Wheels, I've got two more main lines to crack up, so without further ado, let's rip and tear! Now that that's over, I can go back to glazing mass-produced toys. I want to talk about this Toyota Sprinter Trueno first. This one is released in the 2026 mainline, and when I saw pictures of it on the internet, it just became a high priority target for me. I am quite a fan of Toyota and Initial D, but I'm not actually that attached to the AE86. The primary reason that I wanted to get this is because of the deco and the color palette solely, which is why I think that graphics play an important role in the appeal of a Hot Wheels car. I think that the pink and the gold along with the neutral colors like black and white really work with the metal flake purple coat of the Trueno. And this shows that proper color combos can really make a good impression, giving a car that's normally bland and appealing, stylish and fast look to it. Now let's talk about the other 86. This orange GR86 Cup is from the 2025 mainline, and I think that this deco is really well done. This simple orange might not shine as much as the metal flake purple on the Trueno, but I genuinely think that This is a really charming design and it reminds me of some of the older main lines from the 2000s. I think that the black, grey and white really goes well with the bright orange, not to mention the wheels being this simple black plus chrome combo. Now what I want to say is that this one feels really stand out even if it's not as wild as the 24/7 or the Sprinter Reno. It has its own distinct flavor. I feel that the same can be said about this Mazda MX-5 here, or the Miata, or the Roadster. Now I don't love it as much as the other three cars I showcased, but I still think that it would be a really appealing car that you would see on the pegs because it's shiny, it's red, and it's also got some graphics that gives it a bit of personality. Out of all the cars I showcase, my favorite has to be the 24/7 because I think it's a really cool car that's not as hyped as the licensed cars, but it still feels really special to me. I should also mention that good decos don't necessarily have to be Japanese or Tula inspired. It can also be some styles like racing stripes or flames or whatever floats your boat. If the color scheme feels very special, I feel that someone would eventually want it, even if it's not a licensed casting. I think that unique but tasteful color palettes would make both licensed and unlicensed castings feel more collectible, and it also gives them this Hot Wheels flair that I grew up with. I especially think that these kind of unique colors should be done on unpopular cars that may be peg warming in some places, so it could make the car more memorable and make people interested in buying it. So I made this video because many people on YouTube have already done videos talking about fantasy cars in the past decades. Since I didn't want to repeat that, I decided to focus on a different side of Mattel's art direction instead. In the end, I feel that everyone's preferences are different and I really hope to see more artistic looking releases in the Hot Wheels mainline, but maybe also the premium. As long as it looks nothing like whatever the hell art cars is, get rid of that. Nobody freaking likes it. Before this video ends, I want to give a shout out to Skizzy Benz. He makes really good Hot Wheels content on YouTube and I highly recommend one of his latest videos that features some other Hot Wheels creators too. Link in description. Benny, if you're watching this, thanks for inspiring me to talk about Hot Wheels on the internet as well as supporting the very few content I have here. To all of you who watched till the end, you are a legend. Have an exquisite day and be sure to tune in the next time I drop another. Smell you later.